It was the summer Irvi Carlsson got very sick, realized she didn't have long to live, and confided in me that she knew what had happened to Sven Jorgensson and his son Vidar up in Tierp. We hadn't known each other very long. I knew Irvi had been a police officer and had moved to the house near Tofta a few years after retiring. Her husband, Ronny, had died, and in her widowhood, she devoted her days to the beautiful garden surrounding their house. It was situated a few kilometers up in the woods. That was how we met. Ever since my return, I've lived a relatively quiet life. That's how I like it. I'm over 40 now, and my days don't include any children, women, or other distractions. I spend my time writing or reading. Once or twice a week, I take the car and go grocery shopping, drop by the bookstore, or visit my parents. They're in their 70s now. On occasion, I drive down to Lund, where my brother works, and where my editor spends half his time. I don't do much else. If I like, I can walk down to the bus stop on UIhwZsLCFSc and ride into town to see an old friend over a cup of coffee or a beer. Those trips are increasingly scarce now. The only truly regular facet of my existence, beyond writing and reading, is taking walks. I hardly ever took walks during my years in Stockholm, unless I had some destination in mind. But down here, I walk a few kilometers almost every day. I don't know quite why I need it, but I do. Alongside the treat of a glass of whiskey a few times a week, after an especially productive work day, my walks are one of the few rewards I allow myself. The first time I met her was in late June. The old woman was in her garden next to an open bag of potting soil. The quiet nature of her surroundings meant that she noticed me right away as I came walking by. She looked up, spotted me, nodded, and smiled. "Aren't you the one who moved in down by the road, into the yellow house?" "Yes, that's me. I moved here recently," I said. "Where did you live before?" "Stockholm, but I'm from here originally." "I've seen you on walks in the neighborhood." "It's become a habit. This is a beautiful stretch." "Oh, maybe it is. It's like I don't see it myself anymore." She strode over to the fence and put out her hand. "I'm Irvi." Once I'd introduced myself, she said, "That's right. You're the one who writes books, aren't you?" "Yes," I said, even though I hadn't been able to write a word since I came back. "I suppose I am." "I haven't read any of them, I have to confess." "There's no need to. Have you lived here long?" "For almost 15 years. My husband and I bought the house. Now it's just me. I've thought about selling it, of course," she went on, as if anticipating a question she heard often. "But I don't know. Where would I go? I'm 80 years old. I guess I'll just keep living." The next time we met, a week or so later, she invited me in for a cup of coffee, and we exchanged phone numbers. We sat in her kitchen. Irvi had a new cell phone, which she'd received from one of her grandchildren, and I showed her how the alarm clock worked. She visited me sometimes. We drank wine, chatted, played cards, and kept each other company. She told me stories from her life as a police officer, hilarious and tragic stories of criminals and addicts, victims and next of kin. How it had been different being a woman on the force at the time, and yet not. She showed me pictures from a photo album and spoke about her late husband, Ronny, about her children and grandchildren, about her brother, Einar. I told her I'd moved back to my childhood home, that I was trying to get it in order, but didn't know how, that I hadn't been able to write, and hadn't even had anything to write about in ages.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.